I had to get a cab which took me to Isili, and I booked a RAYAN coach bus which goes to Garissa. I have used this bus before to go to Mwingi and always wanted to reach Garissa for the first time. The bus cost 1,500 shillings. The bus was comfortable and even had working USB sockets. The seats could recline and they were very comfortable. Due to the current global pandemic, seating was spaced out well with everyone having an empty seat next to them. Exactly 8:30 am we were off in what started as a smooth ride but turned to a nervous ride as the bus was literally flying, and by around 1:45 pm we had arrived in Garissa. The road to Garissa is well tarmacked and can be accessed with any sized car and can make for a simple road trip. The terrain is mostly flat, and because Eastern Kenya is mostly an arid and semi-arid area with large flat lands covered with shrubs, there is nothing much to look at beyond kilometers of dry land. On reaching Garissa town, I walked around for a while just trying to familiarize myself with the area, and later on booked a hotel. It is unfortunate that despite there being many hotels, they are not online in the popular apps like Airbnb, Booking.com or even Jumia Travel. I chose the most popular hotel called Nomad Hotel, and I chose it over others because it was just a walking distance to the town center. I booked the hotel which cost 2,500 shillings per night.
This is my room.
Wait, I'm forgetting my key outside. Let me give you guys a quick tour of the room that I got. The hotel is called Nomad Hotel. This is a shelf. Where's the light? This is the bathroom, shower. There's a TV, there's a mirror, there's a good desk here, and this is the bed. It looks nice and neat, and the room is huge. There's some drawers. There's a phone. I don't know if it's working. There's an AC, another drawer. There's the AC, and that's it. The room is 2,500 shillings. There's nothing much outside here. It's actually boring, and it's disappointing that the place doesn't have a swimming pool. After resting for a while, I was out again trying to figure out some activities I might be able to do. First thing I wanted to see was the Tana river, which passes close to the town. I took a boda that took me there, but ended up being disappointed with the location since there wasn't a lot to look at or do. I wished there was some kind of structure that people would sit and soak in the views, or even boat rides whenever it's known that the river is calm. Unfortunately, there wasn't much to see and I had to leave.
Kumaanisha maji upanda hadi mpaka huko juu mpaka town. Hadi town. Mpaka huko DRC. So yote ufunikwa na maji hapa. Hizi nyumba hizo funikwa. Lakini maji inaingia ndani. This is Tana River, and interestingly the sand feels like big sand. Look at that. It's so, can I call it silk or smooth? And the river is huge. It goes all the way to Indian Ocean. So right now I'm in Garissa. That's where the main highway is. And it meanders all the way from what's the source of Tana River? Is it Mount Kenya? Yeah, this place looks deserted. That's the word. I'm being told that this used to be a field. This right here. It used to be a playground, but now every time the water floods, it goes all the way up, so it covers even those houses there. I don't know if you can see that. There's a church there, it covers that, and it goes for like another almost 200 meters away. So maybe that's why it's so hard for them to develop this area here, because every time the water floods, it just damages things. But this will make for a very good place to just come and chill. You can imagine if, okay, that's a bad idea, clearing the trees, but people can be parking their cars and then you just like catch a sunset. It's a good chill spot. Unfortunately, nothing much to do, no boat rides, because this water is very risky. Sometimes maybe there's a flood that happened somewhere else, so while you're here you might not know about that. Then the water will rise very fast, and you can see kids swimming there, and this place is reported to have killed so many kids, yeah, when they come to swim. So it's nature is nature, you can't control nature.
More just going round and round the small town. I occasionally ask boda people if there is anywhere I could go, but never got any recommendation. They're at least 50 kilometers away, and you need a car to access them.
I have decided to just walk around this Garissa town, because now there's really nothing else I can do. So there's a mall I saw somewhere, and we Nairobians love mall, so let me go and chill in a mall and see how it looks like. It looks new, so that's what I want to go and see. Some sad story. 3 days ago, there was some shooting that happened here. People were protesting against police killings, and this road was impassable at that time.
One thing I was told though was that Garissa has a very vibrant nightlife. There was no way to explore that because of the global pandemic and nighttime curfew in place. The most convenient mode of transport in Garissa is bodas or tuk-tuks, which are in the hundreds. Garissa is full of shops and small markets, as it is with towns with people of the Somali origin who are very enterprising. Ended my day with spending an hour watching a football game in a field just next to the town. I don't know the teams or which team won, but it was interesting passing time there. Evening came and I retired to my hotel ready for the next day.
This is the most unnecessary, complicated shower I have ever seen. Check this. That's the normal tap. There is something like a knob here. I don't know what it does. There is this knob here which adjusts the height, and then these knobs this side adjust the angle. There's a knob here for heating, on, off. I don't know what this does. It's just written off, maximum. This tap goes this side and this side. So it took me at least 10 minutes to figure out how to use the shower, because I kept opening the tap. Then I could just turn it this side and I'm still opening the tap. The other side, I'm opening the tap. I thought this is a button. It's not. If you rotate this thing, you're removing the whole screw. So you put it back in. Like, why does it have to be this complicated? So I had to call the reception to ask them, how do I use the shower? So you have to let the water run first, and then you pull these upwards. Like, why can't it just be a simple button the way we are used to? Anyway, complicated shower and
The second day wasn't that hard. I quickly took breakfast and rushed to the bus stage, ready to travel to Mandera if possible. The bus companies in the area told me there is no bus going to Mandera since the government has withdrawn all security escorts. If I wanted to reach Mandera, I will have to take the bus to Wajir and from there board a pickup or hitchhike a lorry which will take me to Mandera. Mandera is a whole 345 kilometers away from Wajir. To put that to perspective, it's as far as from Nairobi to Kisumu, or Nairobi to Kisii, or Nairobi to Eldoret, or Nairobi to Meru and back to Embu. A journey that takes roughly 6 hours in other parts of Kenya, but in northeastern Kenya, with the untarmacked, dusty roads and literally driving on desert sand, it can take up to 10 hours if the weather is fine. When I was to reach Wajir, I was advised to get a car heading for Mandera, which will then stop in some town along the way when 9 p.m. reaches for people to sleep, and the journey will resume 4 a.m. after the curfew ends. The alternative was to wait an extra day in Wajir and travel to Mandera the next day early morning. At that point, I wasn't really sure on what to do next and decided to go to Wajir first, and if it's still early, proceed to Mandera. I arrived at the bus terminus 8 a.m. but had to wait till 10 a.m. for the first bus to arrive. The bus looked beat up despite having a newer number plate. It didn't have a front grille and I just crossed my fingers that the road was good. It wasn't. The seats in the bus looked new and okay. I paid 1,500 shillings fare to Wajir and exactly 11 a.m. we were off. Unlike the trip from Nairobi to Garissa, which started slow and gained pace, this time round, it's like we started driving at 140 kilometers per hour. The road was very good, newly tarmacked road for about 50 kilometers, and then we turned to one of the dustiest and roughest roads I have ever been to in recent times. It only reminded me of how bad the roads were in my high school years, with their camper buses trotting through the forest of Naivasha and hills past Nakuru. The road was extremely terrible. It all made sense why the bus was overspeeding on the tarmac. It was all to make up time for the slowish speeds we were to face ahead. It also made sense why there are so many road accidents along the Garissa and Mandera route. The poor infrastructure gives the drivers no alternatives other than to risk lives, because being stuck in the middle of nowhere is equally dangerous. But the rising dust from the bus moving wouldn't give you that option. Along the way, I saw 3 giraffes with one being next to the road. The driver had to hoot for it to move. There were several antelopes along the way and so many camels. We've taken a prayer break, and for us who are not Muslims, it's like a bathroom break. And this is how the road looks like. We've been on such a road for the last maybe 1 hour 30 minutes, and this is how it continues until we reach Mandera. No, until we reach Wajir, not Mandera. We're going to Wajir. That's the bus. The journey went on for what can be described as a lifetime, but finally we reached Wajir town close to 5 p.m. At that time, I wasn't going to travel to Mandera. I talked with more people about the journey to Mandera and I didn't get any good news other than people telling me to avoid the journey for a few days as they wait for the government to restore security. I cancelled the whole idea of going to Mandera. One thing I realized about Garissa and Wajir town is that they have a plastic pollution problem. This might be contributed with the heat and scarcity of water, making people use more plastic bottles to carry water, but with poor disposal, the towns have been littered with a lot of plastic. As is my tradition, I started with aimlessly walking in the town just to familiarize myself with the place before booking a hotel room.
It's day 2. Let me show you the room tour for the second hotel that I got in Wajir. This is the bathroom. Tada, toilets. Very big space. The place is very dusty. If you can see my shoes. I think I've lost my voice. There's some good drawers here. There's a TV, and that is the bed with some drawers and old phone. I like the lighting. Things I never use, mosquito nets. Then here there's a fridge. There's a safe. I don't know what you'd want to put in there. And a working desk if you travel with a laptop or something like that. So it's nice. Cost me 2,500 shillings.